Unfortunately, 2/3 of all seniors report not knowing enough about this topic, and if they make a mistake, the average mistake costs almost $34,000. So what is this topic? The topic is scams, and according to the FBI that releases a report every year, seniors, people over 65, are the #1 target for scammers. They're getting more and more sophisticated. In fact, just of the reported scams, they went up by 14% last year and cost seniors over $34 billion in total. So as I said, the FBI does a report, and it just came out. It's called the Elder Fraud Report. And the report goes into the details on this. And I'm going to share with you the 5 main findings. The first one is something I've shared already, the $34 billion in aggregate. And that's up from $3.4 billion in 2022. So it's a huge problem. And unfortunately, elderly people are the focus of these scams because as we get older, a lot of these things are driven by technology, and we're not up on the latest technology, and it's easier for us to be fooled. Now, if you're in your 30s and watching this, I think it's important for you to watch as well, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, because while you might be up on the latest technology today, the world's moving quickly. So the information in this report is super helpful. So again, the older Americans tend to be targeted, and there were over 100,000 victims in 2023, age 60 and older. And the Internet Crime Compliance Center, the ICC, which is run by the FBI, that's where people report scams against them, you can report either being scammed or having been phished or somebody trying to scam you. Again, it's the Internet Crime Compliance Center, the IC3 is what the FBI calls it. And according to the IC3, people over 60, again, over 100,000 complaints, total losses $3.4 billion, and the average dollar loss was almost $34,000. And almost 6,000 seniors reported losing over $100,000. That's a big sum. Now, how does that compare to people of different age groups? So this report shows it here. You can see they really are targeting seniors. So people over 60, it's over 100,000. People 50 to 59, there's only 66,000. I say only, that's a horrible number. But you can see it dramatically increases for older people. And again, I think the reason for this is because we're not as tech savvy. Even if we're tech savvy today, that can quickly go as new technology comes along. Like smartphones, really introduced in 2009, I believe, might be 2007, the iPhone came out. But really took, let's call it 2012, 2015, until they were everywhere. And now they've just become a core part of life. But it's a pretty sophisticated technology, and people that were 60 when the iPhone came out, when the Android phones came out, it's just hard to keep up with all this technology. So I think that's why we're being scammed. So this infographic here shows the type of scams. The #1 is where somebody calls and pretends to be with tech support, and you give them access to your computer. By far as the number of scams, but stick with me because you're going to be surprised by dollar amounts. So the first one is the most common is tech support scams. The next one is personal data breaches. Somehow somebody gets access to your data on your computer. The next one is what the FBI calls confidence and romance scams. That's somebody trying to build your confidence, somebody pretending to be in a romantic relationship with you to build your trust, and then they end up scamming you. And then the next two are non-payment and non-delivery scams, so where somebody promises to send you a product or give you a service for a certain dollar amount and they don't deliver on that. And then the last one on this report is investment scams. So while investment scams might be the least common way of getting scammed, if you do get scammed with an investment scam, it's the most costly. You can see here, while it was the lowest number, it's 1.2 billion. The tech support scams are half of that amount at 590 million. Business email compromise scams are almost 400 million. The confidence and romance scams are 350, 360 million. And then people impersonating the government, which is something that's on the rise, particularly with AI. I'm going to do a video on this as well, but people impersonating the government, either with their voice and using AI to trick people, or just sending a text and saying, you know, it's the Social Security Administration and you qualify for a larger benefit. So, you know, you have to fill out this form, this online form, in order to qualify for the bigger benefit. Don't fall for stuff like that, right? Always go to directly Social Security. So look up the Social Security Administration's phone number in your area and give them a call directly, or go to the Social Security website, ssa.gov. Okay. Another one of the findings is scammers are going after cryptocurrency. If you happen to be a senior, a retired person, somebody over 60 that has cryptocurrency, be super, super careful with that. Now, oftentimes it's a physical key, and that type of scam often falls in, according to the FBI report, into that romance and confidence scam. So either you let somebody into your life, you let somebody into your home that you think you've got a romantic relationship with, but really they're just working you in order to find the codes for your cryptocurrency. The key, I think, is the term. Or it's somebody that is you're increasingly getting confident with and trust. And it turns out that trust is misplaced. Okay, I also want to share with you not only this FBI report that we talked about earlier, but the FBI does have a YouTube channel, and this is what that channel looks like. And just be super careful, because really smart people are getting scammed. This is the former director of the FBI, the former director of the CIA, William Webster, and he has a video, you can find it on the FBI website, where he talks about being targeted for a scam himself. So if somebody was the director of the CIA, if somebody was the director of the FBI, he was both, can fall victim to these types of scams. All of us can fall victims to these scams, so we have to be super careful. In the FBI report, it does share if somebody has tried to scam you, if you feel you've been victim of a scam, you can call the FBI. Their number is 1-800-CALL-FBI. And then that Internet Complaint Center, the IC3. Their website is ic3.gov. And again, this is what the cover of that report looks like. You can get a copy of that yourself just by Googling FBI Elder Fraud Report 2023. But wrapping things up, just some of my thoughts on this. Again, if somebody that was the director of both the CIA and the FBI, he was also a federal judge, can fall victim to this. We all can fall victim to it. So we have to stay super diligent. On the report of this the FBI report, they have somebody looking at their phone and they're getting a call from an unknown caller. And you can see the index finger is about to hit hang up on this person, which is what I think we should all do, right? If somebody's not in your contacts, if you don't know them, you know, we kind of feel an obligation to pick up the phone. Those of us that are baby boomer generation, maybe a little bit younger, because we remember the days when our phone was at home and there was no call screening. But we have no obligation to pick up the phone. Our smartphone is a tool for us, and I want you to leave it as a tool for you. And also, speaking of tools, I did a video that I think you'll find interesting, which is what is the average income for a retiree in America? And that's this video here. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you in there. Bye-bye.